here's a brand new update, by the way, because the front has now basically made its way south of where the tornado warning was. The tornado warning has been dropped. That is good. However, that also pushes the new area of circulation that we have to watch farther down to the south as well. So if you're watching in Pauls Valley and Wynnewood right now, good news to pass along for you is that the tornado risk, at least for the time being, is now basically decreasing for you. So, but you are about to get quite a bit of wind, by the way. I mean, even though the tornado warning may not be there anymore, you're still going to get some strong winds with this and some hail as well with this moving quickly to the east. So Pauls Valley, Wynnewood, down towards Davis and Sulphur, the threats that you need to know about right now. On the northern end of this flashing polygon, you're looking at winds 60 miles per hour and some hail too, by the way. I mean, this is still dropping some sizable hailstones as of right now in the ping pong ball size range here. And then the new area of spin that we're going to keep a close eye on will be just east of Ratliff City. And if this becomes tornado warned, that would basically make its way very close towards Hoover, Ouachita, and eventually towards Davis, just north of Turner Falls by just a couple of inches here. So you can see definitely the winds, they're spinning in here. I mean, they're definitely spinning just east of Ratliff City and Tatum's with this storm moving to the east here. So definitely has our attention. Again, a lot of the data we've been watching was showing that we're still going to get some rotating segments out of this storm as it makes its way towards I-35. Overall, the risk for severe weather today is not going to last that long. This will be a threat that will be well into southeastern Oklahoma by the time the sun sets. So the window is small for severe weather for us today, and it's basically going to be tied to this storm right here. Lots of scattered showers behind it, but the risk for severe weather, at least for Wynnewood down to Davis, will be tied to this storm. And then these supercells that are trying to go up as well that are going to be southwest of Ardmore, but at the current track, that may go a little bit more in towards southeastern Oklahoma, south of, say, Pontotoc, or south of Ada and into southern Pontotoc County. So at this moment right now at 3:15, there are no tornado warnings in place. We did have one that was issued at 3:45. That tornado warning has been allowed to, they dropped it early, mainly because the cold front just came right through. So once the front comes through, you get a north wind, it messes up the wind field, and the risk for tornadoes really begins to drop. However, the front, I'll have to get an update, but I believe the front's going to be located right just south of Pauls Valley, coming very close to Wynnewood, by the way. See this backward segment right here? This is going to have some strong winds. Jonathan, you're watching the radar closely. Jonathan, what stands out to you right now?
Well, I can understand why the tornado warning was dropped. It looked like, again, I had said split, but it was actually a cell merger. And so you had the original tornado warning, which is back west of Elmore City. Michael was right there. That had a really significant area rotation, but then the storm to the south kind of came in and maybe collapsed the northern storm. So let's go to the radar, kind of give you an idea what this looks like. So this is now, but we're going to back the radar up. And so this is the main area of circulation where my cursor is at. And then this southern storm down near Velma, Elma, got pulled into it. One thing I am watching is the southern cell. It has some rotation with it, nothing too strong, but enough that, you know, there's got to watch it. This happens. Storms that kind of bump into each other. Usually the northern storm gets crushed. The southern storm has good inflow, and it's all about that front. If the storm is behind the front, and I'll just draw here, and let's just say the front's like right here, then that storm would have a really hard time to produce a tornado. But let's say it's right on the front, and the front kind of looks like that. If that's the case, the southern storm might have enough inflow to rotate and spin up. So we're watching that, you know, really closely. And also down the south, Damon, like again, these storms, these are in the what we call the warm sector, and they're away from the cold front. Those are feeding off some higher heat, some higher humidity, and if those can really break through, stay ahead of the front, our next tornado risk would be down the line, like the Wilson cell or the next cell down. But, you know, this one right now, I understand why there's no tornado warning, but I'm going to watch for an area of circulation on the southern cell, just east of where Michael's at east of Tatum's, west of Hoover and Hennepin.
And if I had to draw, Jonathan, right now where the front is, it would be basically from if you draw a line from Ringling up towards around Sulphur and then near Ada, and then as you make way just down towards Calvin, as you go into southeastern Hughes County. So north of that line, we have a north wind, and so our tornado risk is really beginning to decrease. Now, south of that line, you still have a tornado risk, although at this moment, that risk is going to quickly begin to shift. And so, Jonathan, let's go ahead and pull on out here to do a final look at the radar and the areas that we're still watching. So, over the next, I'd say 5 to 10 minutes, the front's going to rush through Sulphur, and so temperatures will drop. You will know it. What really concerns me is going to be, I'd say, from Springer, Ardmore, and then down towards Fort Worth. That will be the area to watch for at least the next 30, 45 minutes, a little bit longer, especially if you go down to Texas, where at least the window is going to be there for these storms to continue to increase in strength here. So if I'm anywhere, say south of Turner Falls, Springer, Ardmore, towards Tishmingo, Medill, Kingston, and north Texoma, this will be the zone to watch for the next hour. So this is the short-term forecast. We're going to keep a close eye on it. At this moment, though, with the cold front now slamming south, that is going to help at least lower the overall tornado potential. So Pauls Valley to Wynnewood, north of Turner Falls. Right now, the storm's coming in for you. There's some heavy rain. There'll be some gusty winds. Let's zoom in real quick in towards Pauls Valley and Wynnewood, give you all an update on what's coming in. Here's your hail, by the way. There will be up to ping pong ball size hail with these storms moving in. Let me check in with Buck if I can. Buck, give us an update right now on what people can expect with these storms coming into Pauls Valley and Wynnewood.
Yeah, Damon, we haven't taken on any ping pong size hail, but we had some dime size hail hit us, and we've been in hell now for a minute. And it's hopefully we're getting out in front of where the hail core is, but this is what's coming into the Wynnewood area right now. We are headed east on Highway 29. Mostly pea-size hails, but there's some dime size mixed in with it. Back to you.
Okay, you and Jason be safe as you're traveling these roads, and just look at this rain. We will take the rain, although this part of the state is really no longer in a drought. But just a heads up for Pauls Valley, for Wynnewood, what Buck just reported to you, that's what's coming in your direction. Heavy rain, small hail, but right now the hail cores will basically be tied to from Hennepin, Katy, east of Elmore City, and that's headed to the east with the severe thunderstorm warning that goes until 4 o'clock. We're going to continue to watch this, and again, any tornado warning that develops, we will let you know well before that warning is issued. But as of right now, with no tornado warnings currently in place and the cold front moving down to the south, that's helping to at least push the tornado risk much farther down to the south and southeast. We'll continue to update you throughout the afternoon here on KOCO 5, and don't forget KOCO 5 News at 4 o'clock begins in about 40 minutes. Keep it with KOCO 5 News. We'll bring you the first alert.